I wanted to take this opportunity to again unreservedly apologize for my decision to travel during the holidays. I know that I disappointed a lot of people. I hope people appreciate I've disappointed no one more than myself. Later on today, I'm going to be speaking with Premier Ford. I know that people are understandably angry about the situation. I do hope to be able to regain their confidence in the days and weeks and months ahead. I'd be happy to take your questions.
Yeah, Mr. Welcome home. First off, as you can imagine, there's been a lot of people talking about what you've just admitted to doing. And the question that all of them are asking is, what were you thinking?
I've been asking myself the same thing over the last number of days. Obviously, I made a significant error in judgment, and I will be accountable for that. I do not make any excuses for the fact that I traveled when we shouldn't have traveled. And I think the one thing that I hope is that I'll be able to regain the confidence of the people of Ontario. I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, and I would like to be a part of that.
And the Premier said that you didn't tell him you were going. Why? And were you trying to keep that a secret?
Listen, Premier Ford has far more important things to do than worry about the travel of his ministers or the people who work for him. As I said, this was my decision. It was a serious error in judgment. The blame is mine, and the blame is mine alone.
And many people are commenting, sir, on your tweets. Was this an effort to keep the trip a secret? Were you trying to kind of fool people into believing you were home?
Listen, I understand why some people believe that's the case. It is not. Many politicians, I would almost say most politicians, pre-program and pre-record a lot of their social media content. I did that to promote Ajax businesses, to promote the COVID-19 supports that we have for small businesses across the province, and to wish my constituents a holiday greeting. That said, I understand in the circumstances why it seemed insincere, and I apologize for that, but it was not the intention.
So just to be clear, there was no intent to deceive anybody with regards to those photos?
There's no, again, many politicians use that pre-programmed on Christmas Eve. They don't all tape their Christmas Eve greetings. They tape them before. That's what I did.
Sir, will you resign?
You know, I think that there's a lot of work still to be done in the province, but finally, that is one of the things that I'll be talking to the Premier about today. I understand that my actions have angered a lot of people, and I have to earn back that confidence. I think that there's very important work that still needs to be done, and I'd like to continue to be a part of that. But you know, I do understand people are angry. They deserve to be angry. I have to earn back that confidence.
So, is there a possibility that it may come to a resignation?
Listen, I said it is finally up to the Premier, who serves in the Premier's cabinet, as it should be, and I understand his disappointment. I want to express to him, you know, obviously, as I have already and as I have here, my apology for this. It's sincere. I think I can still make an important contribution. But finally, that's part of the discussion I'm sure I'll have with the Premier, and appropriately, it's up to the Premier.
And has the Premier asked you to resign as of yet?
We have not talked about it, no.
And lastly, sir, do you feel that the lockdown rules didn't apply to you? I mean, I'm just trying to get some answers for people as to you being the Minister of Finance. Again, as to what you were thinking, did you feel that it didn't apply to you, or what was your thoughts?
Of course it did, and of course that's now why I'll be going to Ajax to quarantine for 14 days. But your first question, which is the question I've been asking myself, it was a significant error in judgment, a dumb mistake, and again, I apologize for it. I regret it, but all I can do now is make that apology and move forward.
Okay, thank you for that. And is there anything you'd like to say to the people of Ontario that you haven't said, sir?
Again, just repeat a very, very deep apology.
I do want to address the situation with the finance minister. Did have a conversation with him. He is on his way back, should be back tomorrow. I can tell you I'm very upset. I'm very frustrated with the situation. I stand out here every single day and tell people to stay at home. People are losing their businesses. We're locking things down. And it's unacceptable that anyone, any elected official, myself included, or anyone that gets up, ignores the rules, and goes down to an island. It's unacceptable, and we're going to have a very tough conversation when he gets back. But I can tell you there can't be rules for elected people and non-elected people. everyone's in this together, and we're going to stick together, and we're going to get through this. And there's absolutely no excuses.
When did you know he was out of the country?
Yeah, I want to tell you, Jamie, that was a good question. He never told anyone he was leaving, never told me he was leaving. I did call him shortly after he arrived, and I talked to him and asked where he was. He said he was away, so there's going to be an issue. My mistake, and I take full responsibility. At that time, I should have said, get your backside back into Ontario, and I didn't do that. I did talk to him the other day and said, get back here in Ontario as soon as possible. So we'll be talking with him tomorrow when he arrives.
There's a level of deception also with this trip, because he had pre-recorded messages that he had released on Twitter, and he also had a backdrop when he did an interview with Rogers and Durham.
Yeah, no, again, Jamie, this is unacceptable. You know, we're supposed to be the leaders. We can't have a rule for one group of people and then, you know, snub the rule and go do something else. I'm concerned about the videos as well on social media. But we'll address it. I can guarantee the people of Ontario we're going to have a tough conversation when he gets back.
Cynthia suggested this reflects on your leadership. If your own Minister of Finance is not paying heed to what you're saying, and I'm sure you spoke and said don't leave the country, and then he does leave the country, doesn't that reflect on your leadership? And how does that justify to the person that's in their basement right now not seeing their mother?
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't justify anything. When we're telling people they can't see their elderly parents, and everyone's sitting in a house at Christmas with them and whoever else is in their household, and we're saying you can't go anywhere, that's unacceptable, and it'll be addressed. I promise you that.
People are requesting suggesting it should be terminated or asked to leave the Conservative Party, given the fact that there has been people who have been asked to leave the party before, and more or less of events.
Well, we'll have that tough conversation tomorrow, and I'll be back to the people tomorrow. But I appreciate it, and thank you, folks. Don't let this discourage us. We're going to move forward. This is a positive day for the people of Ontario.